Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us here today. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates and coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Starting off with baseball this week, the head coach Seth Wing, and crazy week for you guys. A lot of weird scores. 66 runs scored in 5 games this week, and it could have been more had you played a little bit more against Concordia St. Paul. Just from that, what was your reaction to how the week went?
Yeah, definitely interesting. Certainly very happy for our players as they've been working hard, so hard throughout the entire season, and very proud of them to get the results that they deserve just based on their work. And it really comes down to approach. And as you know, in sport, momentum is everything. And hitting, certainly, they do say it's contagious, and it certainly has been for us. But it really is reflection of how hard these guys are working and where their minds are at when they get in the box. They deserve it because they put the work in, and so it's been good to see because we haven't defended that well, and we certainly have been battling through pitching issues with arm issues in our depth. So we really needed it, and honestly, the resiliency of this group is just crazy. Several comeback wins as well over the stretch too, and we were down 2 runs in the last half and getting 3, and just refusing to lose and passing the baton and the next guy stepping up. So it's been great to watch.
All right, let's quickly recap some of these. And against Southwest, who scored 30 runs against Southwest in 2 games. Tell us a little bit about that series.
Yeah, beautiful day at Lowry Field there. I think it was in the I can't even remember. I believe it was in the 80s. It was just absolutely a stunner, but the wind was blowing out like crazy. Both teams felt pretty good, but we just came out in the second inning, put up a 9 spot. I think we almost hit the cycle of home runs, a 2-run, 3-run, and a grand slam. The ball was just flying, but again, our guys were locked in. I mean, they were barreling up pitches and fouling off really good pitches and getting to the next one, and it was fun to watch, and certainly it was great because we needed every bit of it in these crazy games. I mean, we ended up hanging on, I think, in game 1, 13-8, and then we had to have a big comeback in game 2 to get the win, 17-16. So
yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And then Concordia St. Paul, weird series in that one. I don't know how you want to describe that.
Yeah, so scheduled to play 3 games, obviously on Friday, Saturday of last week, and certainly Friday was a stunning of a day, but again, wind blowing out, short park there, their fences are short. Both teams were absolutely hitting the ball all over the park there, and again, we got out to a huge lead and just kind of hung on as they were making a comeback. But they don't have lights at their field. So we started game 2 knowing that this could be an issue. We got through 6 complete innings, and the score was 16-12. So again, another slugfest. But we had to halt the game. And then Saturday, Sunday, there were weather issues. We couldn't complete the game. We were scheduled to go up there Monday to complete inning 7, 8, and 9 of game 2 and then play game 3. But unfortunately, Mother Nature won again. And they had to finalize game 2 after 6 complete. We ended up losing that 16-12. But we had all the momentum in the world. We were coming back big, and certainly we were hoping to get that game finished because we felt good about coming back and finish that off, and then game 3 would have been a toss-up. But that being said, we can't control the weather, and we roll with the punches, and our guys have done a good job of that.
And then just to kind of figure out why that was the way that it was, and this is the first time that I knew this. I didn't understand that the way the schedule is set up, if your game is scheduled for midweek, you have a certain number of days to do that. If your game is scheduled on the weekends, you can only do that, and you can't make that up later on. Correct.
So per conference policy, it's something that was put in the manual. I'm not sure how many years ago. And I think Coach Polk was very instrumental in this, just given the compactness of our schedule. They had to put parameters around it. So if we have a midweek doubleheader against a conference opponent, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday to play that doubleheader. If we have a weekend series, 3-game series against a conference opponent, we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to complete those 3 games. And so if we can't in that window, then unfortunately we lose them. But up to this point, we've only lost 1 game due to weather, which sounds kind of crazy based on the weather that we have. But we're definitely will do whatever we can to get the games in.
All right, and then you had to travel to Wayne State, which is the first time you traveled in a while because you had 15 straight home games. Tell us what happened against Wing.
Yeah, and actually we were scheduled to be home, and then Winona and Mother Nature brought us 8 inches of snow on Monday, Sunday night, Monday. So we did a quick reverse site, and we would have loved to play them at our place because we would matched up very well against them. But again, beautiful day, wind blowing like crazy in Wayne, Nebraska. They have a nice team. They're right in the thick of things, and so we had a beautiful 2-1 baseball game. Obviously, not like us, but in the top of the 7th inning, and then the wheels kind of fell out for us. There was a big delay with a replay review on a fair foul ball, and it delayed it, kind of took the rhythm of our starting pitcher who was throwing a complete game, Peyton Lee, and they ended up scoring a bunch in the 7th inning. So we the number of the score is not indicative of how good that game was. It was 2-1 in the last inning. So we felt pretty good going into game 2, and our guys responded well. We overcame some early unearned runs and took advantage of some of their mistakes and just piled on in the middle part. And then all the credit goes to our bullpen, Peter Twitey and David Soichis, just absolutely were lights out in that game, and we were able to get out of there with the split. And after a reverse site, a game that's supposed to be home, and getting on a bus, traveling 5.5 hours, and playing a doubleheader in tough conditions, I give our guys a lot of credit for just getting through that.
We have about a minute and a half left in this segment, but now you have a little bit of time off before you sprint again towards the end. 10 games and I think 10 days to end the regular season. So what do you use this time off for right now?
Yeah, rest, recovery, and certainly get our pitching staff lined up for that. And I do, it's inopportune for our hitters just to have that kind of a break and live at bats, but we're going to do some simulated games on Monday next week and get ourselves ready to go for the home stretch. And we feel like we're as good as anybody in this league, and we're certainly looking forward to these next 10 games to see where we land and hopefully get a really good high seed going into the tournament and see if we can make some noise and bring home some hardware.
All right, and what was this a planned kind of week off, a bye week? Is that built into the contract?
Yeah, with the odd number of teams in our league, everyone has a weekend or midweek off, and so this is just the conference scheduled one. And honestly, with the weather we're having in Winona, the timing couldn't be more perfect. We caught a great break as far as the timing of our bye.
Yeah, because from what you said, the field at Lowry Field right now has a lot of water in it, especially with the rain that we've seen the last couple of days. Right?
Yeah, so it's going to take some time. So we really are catching a good break. So we'll use it and be ready to go.
All right, sounds good. We are going to take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, Rylan Wall will join us right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Meet Jenny Siseski of Edina Realty. With nearly 30 years' experience, she knows that right now is the best time to sell your home. Jenny will help you get top dollar, higher than ever before. With today's low interest rates, it's time to upgrade your home and increase its value. High demand and low inventory also make this a perfect time to list your home. Call for a free market analysis. Contact Jenny Siseski at Edina Realty today, 507-458-7038.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Rylan Wall now joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Since this is the first time that we've had a chance to talk to you, we always want to find out who you were before you came to Winona State. You're from nearby Holman. So what was the decision to stay kind of close to home in college?
Winona's always been obviously close to home. I've went to a couple games growing up. And I just love the culture around here, the camaraderie between the guys, and then obviously only less than an hour from my house, so I can make a trip whenever. It's just a great fit for me.
All right. Your dad was your high school baseball coach, but you also played football and basketball as well as at Holman. Was there pressure being the coach's son, and what was that like?
I suppose there's pressure, but I've always grown up with him coaching me and helping me, so it's been a great experience for me learning from him and just building off each other.
All right, and your brother is on the team as well. Was he first year before you?
No, we came here the same year.
Gotcha.
He went 2 years at a JUCO, and then came here, and then right when I graduated high school, I came here.
Okay, very good. I do want to talk about this past week, because you had a pretty big week this past week. You had a home run against Southwest Minnesota State, which is part of a 3-run home run inning. What was it like to be a part of that? And I mean, were you watching the pitcher and saying that I'm keyed in this, I need to get a part of this too?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Cooper got us started with the grand slam, and then Austin Byer had a 3-run home run earlier that inning, so I knew the ball was flying, and then I had a good at bat before, and then got a good pitch and was able to take a good swing at it.
All right. Tell me a little bit about this offensive outburst that we've seen. I mean, we talked about it a little bit in that first segment, but especially that kind of 3-run outburst, what was that like?
Yeah, it was great to watch, and honestly, Ryland is a catalyst with our offense, and his approach is just absolutely, he knows exactly what he's doing up there in the box. His approach is fantastic. He sees the ball so well, and I think guys, honestly, they feed off of each other, and so he's certainly right in the middle of everything that we're doing offensively, so very happy of how they work together for sure.
Yeah, the Southwest and Concordia were both really good series for you. I mean, what's it like to, I mean, I suppose that's probably as close as being in the zone as anybody could be. What is it like to be in the middle of that, and how do you see pitches? How is it different than anything else?
Yeah, I would say it's just a lot of luck. Having balls drop everywhere. Sometimes it feels like that. Like yesterday, I had a couple barreled balls that just got caught, but some days they drop. But it's been a lot of fun. Just hunting the fastball and hammering it.
All right. Tell us a little bit about this season, because it seems like a really special year, and the guys have really come together and have played really well. What's different about this year?
It's just been a weird year. I mean, we started out struggling. Obviously, Seth's first year, we didn't really know what we had. We knew what we had. We knew we had a lot of talent, but we didn't know how we could group it together. And after the first years, I think we scored like 2 runs total. So to see how far we've come, it's been a lot of fun.
What's it like putting these double-digit run totals up over the last couple of games? I mean, that's not usual baseball, but what's that like on the team?
It's just been crazy. It seems like every time someone's up, you're like, they're getting a hit. You bring someone in off the bench, it feels like they're getting a hit. We're just so deep and so talented with top through bottom.
Okay. Now, as we said, you have a couple days off here to kind of rest and relax, but it's not really rest and relax because you got this sprint towards the end of the season with all these games before the playoffs. What do you personally and what does the team have to do to kind of, put this past weekend behind you with all the craziness and with the weather craziness, and then get ready to end the season?
Yeah, we just got to get focused up for a good couple opponents coming up, but we also got to take a couple days off just to relax and regroup for the last couple of weeks of the season, because it's been a long grind so far, but we just got to take a couple of days off and get back at it.
All right, last question for you personally. How do you keep this roll going that you've been on?
Just stay focused. I mean, stay even through the highs and lows, and just get excited to get back after it every day.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, and congratulations on what you've done so far, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. And we'll take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, we'll talk softball with head coach Greg Jones right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
The Command IQ app helps me manage the Wi-Fi in every room of the house however I want. Like this room, where my wife talks to her friends in her book club every week. She's my best friend.
Time out. Have you seen the abs on the latest Bachelor? My husband used to have abs, but now he just has flabs. I don't know. Now, he said he works out, but I think...
It's not a book club meeting, it's a make fun of me meeting. Well, what happens in book club doesn't always stay in book club. So?
Oh. Darla? Honey, my Wi-Fi is down. That never happens.
Well, that's strange. Well, we'll see if we can get someone to come fix it next month.
Okay, but what am I supposed to do about book club?
I don't know. Maybe read a book? Command IQ, you're my new best friend.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Time to talk softball with head coach Greg Jones. And I know we kind of set this up a couple weeks ago, but I got to get to something here. Congratulations on 30 wins this season.
Thank you.
That's the 22nd time in your 23 years here at Winona State that you've reached the 30-win plateau. And previous to that, before you at Winona State, one season of 30 wins, which was a 39-23 in 1997. So congratulations on everything that you've done. I know you don't like to hear that, so let's get to the games and talk about Concordia St. Paul. Crazy against Concordia St. Paul this week.
Unreal. It's almost as crazy to think back a week ago it was 90 degrees. But we went up there and just really banged the ball. And again, going to Concordia, you always know it's going to be offensive. They play in a really small park. It's 190 on the lines, and I saw the forecast of when it was going to be blowing out. And it's kind of hard in preparation because you can't prepare to play an 18-14 game. In my head, I still go about it thinking, okay, we just got to get our 4 runs. We got to hold them under 4. You play the same game until the game changes. Yet in your mind, you kind of go in and game planning. Okay, are we going to move runners over? Are we going to play for a run? Are we going to play for big innings? And so I kind of preset that we're going to not bunt much and not play small ball. Never did I imagine 18-14, and the game just kind of took off, and both teams were pounding it. And more than the home run ball, I think with the wind blowing out and the small field, what it changed was just every ball that was hit on a barrel was extra bases. I couldn't get over how many just hits there were and how frustrating that was as a defensive coach of just to see how much offense was happening against us.
Yeah.
But I think our kids did a great job of keeping their head about them and just kept fighting. The biggest inning when we got behind, we answered right back with 4 or 5 runs. I thought that was probably the biggest point of the game for us.
So you go from 18-14, giving up 14 runs, to having a no-hitter thrown in the second game. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is probably, I guess, the craziest part. And Abby, to her credit, was amazing. And she did exactly what we needed her to do. She kept the ball down. She changed speeds on a day where the ball was flying all over the park. Because, again, we still put up 9. And to keep them off the scoreboard in every capacity was just complete credit to Abby Smith and how she threw the softball.
All right, and then you move on from there to face Minnesota Duluth, one of the top teams in the conference. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a couple of losses there. Tell me what you saw in your team in those 2 games.
I think what really surprised me wasn't about our team. We knew that Dixon was the best pitcher in the league. I think she's 3 or 4 times reigning, pitcher of the week in the league, putting up massive strikeout numbers. We were prepared for her. She just threw the ball harder than I thought she did. You just don't see a kid go from one year to the next and watch her miles per hour jump like they do. Not that she was a finesse pitcher, but I thought she was really throwing mid to upper 60s, and I just didn't think we were going to see that kind of pace from her. But again, we didn't lose the game because she threw that well. We lost the game because we gave up 10 runs, and so we got behind early, and we were chasing early, big numbers, and we just couldn't get it done. And then in game 2, we came back, had the big comeback in the 7th inning, which was great to see, and then we just couldn't get over the hump late. But what I liked about it was the resiliency we showed after getting beat up early in the first game and then being behind right away in game 2 to kind of really settle it down and get back in it was good, because they're good. I mean, they're obviously in first place for a reason, and so to go into their place and go from, again, 85, 90 degree weather to 40 degree weather with piles of snow on the sideline was kind of a different mindset as well. So it was good resiliency to come back and show that effort.
All right, then you have to travel to Wayne State, and again, the offense was dialed up, double-digit runs in both games against Wayne.
Yeah, and we kind of flipped our pitching rotation a little bit. We started Abby Smith in game 1 and got behind early, and then she really settled down and threw zeros until we could kind of get our offense going. And I figured we would get our offense going down there. It wasn't that I was frustrated early. I just got concerned early. Like, okay, where's it at? Again, small park, wind blowing out. You kind of expect to hit the home runs, and we finally got it going, as you said, and put up double-digit runs. And we've, again, offensively, really since conference has started, we've been in a good place offensively. Sometimes, when you're going that well, you expect it every inning, and that's just not the way the game works. So as a coach, you're just trying to kind of wait for it and be patient with it. But once we got it going, it was fun to see again.
All right, and I have to ask, then game 2, Skylar Kelmus starts instead of Abby Halas. So you said you moved the rotation around, and I know Abby came in relief in a couple of instances as well. What was the decision to start Skylar?
It was more of a kind of a thought process of giving Abby some time off. Abby Halas. First, Abby Smith has been pitching really, really well. Deserves that start. And to me, it's not necessarily about promotion and demotion. I mean, whether you're starting one game or the other shouldn't matter. But Abby's been carrying a lot, as a hitter, as a shortstop, as a pitcher. I said, let's just give her some time. Skylar's really been throwing well. It was about the same time we made the move last year. It really worked for us. We just kind of wanted to see how it would work out. And I like the way Skylar can keep the ball down and change speeds. In the end, she scuffled a little bit. Abby was able to step up and step in. I don't know where we're going to go going forward with it. We'll just kind of see. The good thing is we have 3 really quality pitchers, and we know they're all going to get people out. So I'm not going to obsess about what order it's in. It's just going to know that we've got 3 pitchers to get us through 2 games and see how it goes.
All right, we got about a minute and a half left in this segment, and you're tied for second in the NSIC right now with Augustana. And you have this sprint, we talked about it for baseball, 10 games remain in 8 days once you get back to action because the regular season ends on April 30th. How do you feel about your team heading in towards the last games of the regular season and looking ahead to playoffs?
Yeah, we only have 5 games left or 5 doubleheaders left. And the really good thing for us is I don't think we've played our best softball yet. I still think our best softball's out there. Where we put it all together, where we come out and we attack early, get the lead early, and just sprint to the finish. We're not tired. That's the good part. We've had a lot of days off. We had Saturday and Sunday off over the weekend. The kids have today off from class, actually. And so I think we're as rested as we're going to be. And I still think our best softball's in front of us. We got some good opponents. We got some long road trips, so it'll be interesting. But I'd rather be where we are than where we could be.
All right, very good. We're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, Carly Engelhardt will join us right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Meet Jenny Saseski of Edina Realty. With nearly 30 years' experience, she knows that right now is the best time to sell your home. Jenny will help you get top dollar, higher than ever before. With today's low interest rates, it's time to upgrade your home and increase its value. High demand and low inventory also make this a perfect time to list your home. Call for a free market analysis. Contact Jenny Saseski at Edina Realty today, 507-458-7038.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report on HBC TV 25. We're brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Time now to talk with Carly Engelhardt. Thanks for joining us here today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
As we said, it's been a crazy week, but a lot of runs scored, and you had a really good series against Concordia St. Paul. Tell us a little bit about how you've been playing this season.
I think I've been hitting the ball as well as I can right now. Obviously, there's things I have to work out, but as a team, I think we are hitting the ball just as we expected to. There's some things we can improve on, but we're scoring a lot of runs, and I think that's a huge part of our game right now. So it's working really well. Everyone's doing well.
All right. Well, you're second on hitting as far as average goes, 371 this season. You've also hit 9 home runs, and one of the things we've kind of been talking about all season was the first few games, there wasn't a whole lot of power, and then all of a sudden the switch was flipped, and all of a sudden the ball's flying out. Tell us a little bit about that from your perspective.
Yeah, so earlier on in the season, I would say preseason, we weren't at our full capacity offensively. And I think we finally hit our stride. We changed some things with our hitting practices and like different drills with like timing and stuff like that. And I think that's really helped us capitalize on the amount of power that we have in our lineup. 1 through 9, we can all hit with power. And so I think having Libby, Navu, and me like hitting home runs as much as we are, and then Tegan Amoza, Abby Halas, all of us hitting home runs and hitting for power like we can is just really helping. And I think we're just all doing a really good job right now.
All right, from your perspective as a coach, speaking about the home runs, I mean, Libby had a huge weekend. Tell us a little bit about what that's like for you to be able to get that production.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us on the offensive side is making our hits count for runs.
Mm-hmm.
And when one swing can get you 3 runs or 4 runs or even 1 run, it's so much bigger than just a base hit through the middle that now you still need 2 more hits to get that run in. Again, perfect world, every time you hit the ball, it can go out of the ballpark. But we realize that's not going to happen. But just being able to barrel balls up and give ourselves the opportunity for extra base hits has been so much more valuable to our offense than, when we're leaving runners on base or getting a 2-out base hit. Even like yesterday with Libby, Wayne in our big rally inning led off with a solo home run. We were down 4-2. Suddenly now in 1 hit, it's 4-3. Plus, I think then that breathes life into everybody that it allows you to feel like we're going to get it going again.
All right, I would go back a little bit for you because it's the first time we've had a chance to talk to you. Coming out of high school, you were a multiple sport athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, if I have my research right, you missed your senior season for softball.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like to then transfer into college, and what was that first kind of taste back in softball when you got your freshman year?
Yeah, so it was nice to come back to softball. I actually, regardless of COVID or not, I was going to miss my senior softball season. I had knee surgery, so I was done regardless. But coming back after missing my travel ball season and just being here with like a brand new team and meeting new people, it was just super nice to come back to just be around softball and be in a different environment with people that support you constantly. So it was just amazing just coming back, and it's just been amazing since.
How easy is it to kind of get back into the zone or get back into the swing of things after missing a full season?
We were still practicing all the time, and so I think it's pretty easy just to get back in the swing of things because you're constantly doing it regardless if you're in the games or not. You're still practicing and you're still with your teammates all the time. So, I mean, for me, it was pretty easy, I would say. And I think it's just an easy transition once you're around that group of people constantly.
All right. What are your thoughts on how this season has gone? Because it's kind of been crazy with all the weather cancellations and mixing things up and not being able to get out on the field or whatever. How's the season gone?
I mean, we hit a couple rough bumps in the preseason. I think we could have won some more games or produced better, and when we didn't, but those are all just big learning curves. And I think we've been doing pretty well this season. Conference play, we've been doing extremely well, I think. I think playing Minnesota Duluth was a big kind of almost like reality check for us in a sense, and seeing where we are compared to where they're at and just facing a picture of Dixon's velocity and movement was something that was really good for us just to see. And so now, I mean, ever since then, we've been doing great, and I think just everything's a big learning curve for us as a young team this year.
All right, last question then. This last stretch of games before playoffs, what does the team need to do to get ready for postseason?
I think we should have to keep hitting, and then what Coach always says is our game comes down to pitching and defense. So if our pitching and defense is there, we get to 4 runs, we're going to win every game from here on out, and we're going to compete our tails off the rest of the season and see what we can do.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time that you guys have given us, and congratulations on what you've done so far, and good luck with the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And thank you guys for watching the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We'll see you next time.